My name is Michael, and I have played disc golf with a cart for a little over 4 years now. And most of that time was with the Zuca all-terrain cart. But 6 or 7 months ago, I switched up and got the Trekker LG. And now that I got a bunch of rounds with this one in, I thought that I would do a quick comparison / review between the two. And talk about why I now prefer and recommend the LG over the all-terrain. It really comes down to two main considerations for me now that I think about it. Dimensions and storage. So the all-terrain, I sold mine, but I looked up the dimensions on the website. Maybe I can find a picture. But the all-terrain is 23.5 inches tall. It is, and that's not counting, of course, the handle. Both of these handles extend. But it's 23.5 inches tall. It was 22 inches wide, and they measure that from the nut to the nut here on the sides of the wheels, and is 19 inches front to back. And they measure that from back of the wheel to the front of the legs here. The dimensions were a problem with the all-terrain. The width to the front to back ratio, it was off. It was very, very prone to tip overs. I played with it again for 4 years, and I'm not gonna say it happened every round, but it happened a lot. I mean, it's seriously a problem. If you're on even a slight hill, I don't mean like a steep incline, but just a slight hill, and one of your wheels hits a root or a rock, I mean, you're either gonna have to wrestle with it to straighten it up, or it's gonna eject all your discs out in the fairway. And you know, that happens in the middle of a bad round. It's a problem. I still didn't get rid of the cart because of it though. I mean, you get used to it, you know, it's what you have, and they're really expensive. But no, I had a second problem with it in that I bought a small pickup truck and it had a bed cover. And that 19 inches front to back, well, when you lay this on its back, the legs kick up and that kind of becomes like 21 inches instead. And it just wouldn't fit cleanly under my bed cover. So I got to shopping for something else and you know, arrived at this one. Overall, it's mostly bigger. And I guess that would be the one complaint somebody could have. It is 26.5 inches tall and it's 24 inches wide, nut to nut. But it's only 16 inches front to back. And that was the reason that I got it in the end. It was, it fit in my truck. So that fixed it for me. I ordered this, I got it, and I had a pleasant surprise in that because it is, I guess, you know, more narrow front to back and wider this way, I haven't had any tip overs. It completely fixed the tip over problem. I've loved it now that I've gotten used to it, now that I've played with it. I'd never really realized how bad that bothered me, but there's no way I would go back to an all-terrain after playing with something like this. This one does come in a smaller model, just the Trekker. I don't know how it does in terms of tipping, never played with it, but you know, if the size of this is bothersome to you, I would certainly consider the Trekker even over the all-terrain after playing with that all-terrain so long and having so many tip overs with it. Storage now. The all-terrain, it's made to hold discs. It holds a lot of discs. I think the website says 32 discs. And what it has, if you haven't seen it, it's a little narrower, of course, but it has 2 stacks of discs here. It comes with a metal and plastic rack that goes inside, and you have a row up here and a row up here. And again, it holds a lot of discs. The problem with it is that it doesn't really hold anything else. I mean, it's just made to hold discs. It doesn't really have any other storage on it. It had a couple like elastic pouches here on the side, but they're not secure. You wouldn't want to put your phone in them. You can throw a whale sack in there, but you wouldn't put even your rangefinder. I mean, it's just not secure enough. There were also a couple of zipper pockets on the side, but they were very flat. Now you could put your phone in there, but your rangefinder doesn't really go. You couldn't put a sandwich in there if you were carrying a snack, and you certainly couldn't put anything like a rain jacket or a sweatshirt in those side pockets. They just weren't big enough. There wasn't enough room there. And I guess they're aware of that because they made a lot of extra storage accessories for the all-terrain. There's some saddlebags that go here, connect to the top, and you know they're sufficient. I mean, you could definitely get a sweatshirt in those. One of them doubles as a cooler if that matters to you. But you had to get the saddlebags. You had to buy them, you had to carry them, you had to attach them. I also, on the all-terrain, I played with a putter pouch. I just wanted to have my putters, you know, handier than having to go to the cart every time. And so, you know, it's just a lot. It got to be a lot. The Saddlebags, I eventually just quit using them. I like to play tournaments, so I would, attach them and lug them around for that, but not really much else. So it's just ended up being money that I wasted on things that I didn't really use just because of the extra hassle. The Trekker LG though, again, for me, it's a clear winner in terms of storage. What you have with this cart is the metal rack, which Zuca makes and sells just by itself. If you have a bag that you just want to put into that, I forgot what it's called, but this is that rack with a bag they've made that maximizes the total space within this frame. What you got here in terms of disk storage, I think I have 26 discs in here right now, including some throwing putters, mids, fairway drivers. I could easily get a couple more, I guess, so maybe you could fit 28 in here. That's enough discs for me, it turns out. I used to carry a lot of extras, things I didn't need, discs I didn't throw, and I guess I still do here, to be honest, but it's not as much. It doesn't have the racks, so it is a bag, but I haven't had anything spill out the front. In fact, I would only even argue that I prefer this bag to those old racks that were in the cart, just because it does have some give. It makes it easier to pull discs in and put them out. I just prefer this, and again, it's enough discs for me. If you need 32 or more discs, you might go with the all-terrain. But the extra storage, though, is where it really shines. It's got 2 pockets on each side. It has a pocket on each side, zipper pockets, and they're big. It easily fits my rangefinder. I could fit a sandwich in there. You can fit snacks in there. You can fit, your phone. You can fit a nice bit of stuff in there, good size things, and it's so much better than just that credit card thin pouch that was on the all-terrain cart. It has this is a little flat pocket. I guess this is like for minis or whatever. I love that under the seat here, you have not only, I guess, where you can stick an extra towel, but it actually has a built-in putter pouch here. And again, I prefer to not have to dig in the cart every time for the putters. It only holds 2, so if you're a guy that likes to have 3, 4 putters in a pouch, it's not going to be big enough for that. But again, it's enough for me, and I even like to stick a towel there, throw the seat down. The seat, I guess, I'm talking about it, it's a tad smaller, again, front to back, but I got a pretty hefty rear, and I fit on this one fine. The obvious thing in terms of storage with the Trekker LG is this pouch on the front. That's huge. You can get a hoodie in there, rain jacket in there, snack. You get a whole rotisserie chicken in there. There's plenty of storage there, and it doesn't. There's enough. It has a little bit of support with maybe a plastic something in the bottom. It doesn't weigh down on the discs, and I really, really love this pouch right here, this whole side thing here. I played a tournament a couple weeks ago and it was rainy. I had a little stack of these towels in here, more than I ever needed. And so, again, it's after having this, there's no way I'd go back to the all-terrain. It's a clear winner in terms of, the dimensions, of course. This fixes the tipping problem. All of this storage, it's a no-brainer to me. Again, if the size is a big deal for you, you might consider the Trekker, the regular Trekker. There are accessories, I guess. I haven't needed many, not as many as I did for the all-terrain. I did buy the fenders. When I got my all-terrain, I didn't get fenders. It's not a huge deal, but if you play in the mud, you just have to clean it up. So it just fixed that. I got that. I would recommend upgrading the cup holders. The ones that come on this and on the all-terrain, they're just clamps, but they don't really hold something like a Gatorade bottle or a bigger thermos. These are adjustable. You click them, they'll squeeze in on the bottle. They weren't cheap. Nothing at Zuca's cheap, but they're more effective. I prefer them. I found this on Etsy. If I can find it, I'll post the link in the description. This was probably $25, and it's been worth it. I love this little thing. Neither of these carts, not the all-terrain or this one, has a really good place to store the retrievers. I just used to cram it down in here. But this little plastic piece here was 3D printed. It easily attaches right here to the post, holds my retriever. An umbrella fits here perfectly. it's great. Like I said, 25, 30 bucks maybe, absolutely worth it. But overall, I mean, with the Trekker LG, you have a slightly bigger cart, but you have a much more stable cart, and you have a ton more storage. And again, Trekker LG, clear winner. The review helped, maybe you liked the video. Otherwise, have a good day.